Hey guys, Search Tree Reactions here. We're back from Shane.
Zach.
We're back here with something awesome, Zach.
Yes, it is.
It's been a good few days. We're doing Star Wars Visions, and we have a few in the tank, but we're so addicted to the show, I just want to keep watching more.
I had to talk him into it. He's trying to...
Well, we wouldn't even be here today if we didn't do all the other visions. You know that, right?
I know, but I keep pushing for him. He keeps warning me we shouldn't, but I just keep...
The great thing about doing what we do is we can do whatever we want.
Yeah, it is nice.
The last one was...
It was the Elder.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. And the
Dan.
Dan, Dastardly Dan.
Yeah, and Dan the Kid and the Jedi Master turned out to be the dude from Stranger Things.
Hopper, right?
Yeah, it was Hopper.
To me, and you're better than me, I didn't hear Hopper at all in there.
I didn't catch him. Maybe I'm just not familiar enough with his voice. Or
I need to go back and watch Hellboy.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
I didn't see the new one.
I didn't like his version.
Well,
I tried to say that it was closer to the comic, but man, it's...
Well, I didn't read the comic you did, but I enjoyed the two movies for what they were, and that second movie's got a cool
Ron Perlman's is great.
And the second movie's got a cool
and
sword
Guillermo
fight.
del Toro is great. So you take those things for what they are, and you can enjoy them, but I read the comics, and I really want what I got out of the comics.
Well, I felt the same way about Priest. Like, Priest, I really like the manhwa and the art, and the movie is nothing like it. But I enjoy the movie for what it is. Like, Gus... He didn't read anything. He didn't read the manhwas at all. He thought that was pretty cool. It's just like you got to separate. Like, all right, it's just different. You know what I mean?
It's hard for me.
No, I get it.
Someone out there knows this is good. Just give me this. But they don't do it. Someone out there thinks that we need to change it.
I know.
So who's that asshole? We're gonna start right now.
I'm not used to
it's a good looking Star Destroyer.
It looks good. I'm not used to the shot because it came in a wobble.
It was weird to kind of wobble.
The world of Tau struggles to modernize.
Tau is the city from Warriors of Virtue.
Tau has welcomed the galactic.
I really like the hand drawn though.
I do too.
So you're one of the Empire's laborers.
Oh.
Managed to escape. Where are your mother and father?
My mother and father aren't around anymore.
You can join our family. We have lots of food. You can eat as much as you want.
Ochō! You cannot say these things out loud! And certainly not to a strange child from another planet. Leave the poor thing alone.
Besides, I can tell by looking at her that she's a good kid, right?
That girl was a pet rabbit.
Yeah.
Tank Ferric, look what you've done!
Tank Ferric, yes!
Now we're going to make sure you're cleaned up and well fed. So smile.
Where was my sister?
The Scouter!
Oh yeah, right?
The Empire who polluted our sea and pillaged our land. I've watched the planet of my youth be stripped and exploited, and it has to stop right now! We need to show them we will not accept it!
People have gotten injured, including our own family! Ochō, and you too, Father, please stop! There's no reason for you both to fight!
Enough! This is a problem for the head of the family. You should remain silent.
Then allow me to make myself clear as the next head of family. Papa, your stubborn opposition to development is just wrong! We need the Empire to provide growth and prosperity for our future!
We've lived a long time without any assistance from the Republic. Why would we need to change things now? It's just a diplomatic way of saying they're taking over!
Why can't you at least try to understand?
Sorry, boss, gotta run!
Those fools! We have a duty that's been passed down for generations. We need not capitulate to the Empire and their kind!
You should really try and understand how Father's feeling.
Reminds me of Corellia right there in Solo.
I couldn't remember the name of the city, but that's what it reminded me of in the beginning.
Ron Howard's like, we just need a Detroit and a Star Wars universe.
That's what the Star Wars universe was originally anyway.
Yeah.
One big Detroit. Darth Vader walking through it.
Yeah.
I get it, you know? I love this planet. And I love Papa, too. And as his heir, that's exactly why I have to turn to the Empire. For the sake of our future. Papa doesn't get it.
It's a carrot on the
But
side
leave
of
it
the
to me.
scalp.
I know.
I've been waiting for you, Ochō. There you are.
Reminds me of Gary Oldman in The Fifth Element.
It's a good pull. I kind of feel it.
I asked Ochō if she would negotiate with her father on our behalf.
Negotiate? What are you talking about?
I can't leave it up to Papa anymore. He's blinded by his idealism.
I'm sorry, Ochō, but if you're unable to get them under control, we're going to have to make life even rougher for the Asaburo clan. But I'm sure you of all people understand that.
I apologize for...
Doesn't sound like people you want to appease, though.
Cool image of the Star Destroyer behind him.
It is.
This isn't the way to do this!
Last Samurai.
Yeah, I was thinking about a certain person hanging on this wall.
Oh.
They're stuck.
Most of them up and ran away. What you see is what's left. Bunch of cowards, every single one of them.
I want the three of us to live together again. I mean, I want to put a stop to the Empire's oppression. And I want Ochō to come home too. So, Father, lend me your strength.
If I ever seem to favor Ochō over you, I apologize. You can confirm what's happening with your own eyes. This ritual has been passed down in our family for generations. Hundreds of years ago now, there was a great warrior called a Jedi who came to this planet and died here. This ancient weapon represents the bond between parent and child in our family. As it is bestowed upon you, remember that even though we are not bound by blood, you and I share a strong connection. I am your father, and that bond cannot be broken. We'll support each other for as long as we are able to. Bear this in mind, and keep this sword close to your heart. Whenever you're ready, now take it. Now, stay here. Everything will be alright. I'm just going to meet her. Wait for us.
That's not going to end well.
Reminds me of Revenge of the Sith when Obi-Wan and Anakin are like, alright, you know, they kind of have that separation.
Naruto.
Yeah.
Stop, Ochō! I can't bear fighting you! I am your father!
I'm sorry, but you don't understand.
Yes, I do. And I have, since the first time I looked into your eyes. I'm your father and you're my little girl! Now please just come home!
You left me no choice, and I'll do what I must to protect our home, even if that means I have to hurt you, Papa!
I think I just lost my one good eye. Now I won't be able to see your faces.
This has nothing to do with her. I'm your daughter. She's not even a part of this family.
If you truly believe that, then I failed you as a father. I'm so sorry, Ochō. I really am. You and Lop can join hands, and if you're together, we can protect our homeland.
What are you talking about? You know I can't turn back now. It's too late!
That's the family sword.
What are you doing with that? I'm the successor!
I passed it on to Lop. Inheritance has nothing to do with blood.
You and I are sisters. Why don't we go home with the three of us together? We can rebuild this family.
What is
family?
TD!
I'll bring you back! My real sister! I won't give up!
This is a really beautifully animated fight.
It is. It's cool, I don't care.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Damn.
proper family.
Guys, that was our reaction. This is our discussion.
I liked it a lot.
Yeah, I thought it was really good.
Yeah, when I saw all the previews when we watched the trailer, I'm like, well, it was a rabbit girl.
Like a rabbit girl.
Japanese anime.
Yeah.
But I did discount it because of Usagi Yojimbo.
Okay.
If you're familiar with him, he's made some appearances with the Ninja Turtles.
Yes.
The samurai, the Ronin rabbit.
White rabbit with blue...
Blue Camino.
Camino, yeah.
Thing. Well, yeah, so that's my mistake. Because Usagi is pretty damn cool.
Yeah.
So the 2012 CG Ninja Turtle series.
Did he make an appearance in that?
There's an appearance later in the Tales of the TMNT.
Okay.
Where they actually go back in time, but it's in his world where they're anthropomorphic animals instead of humans. So it's in Usagi's world.
Okay.
And it's actually based off of the comic where they've made an appearance that I can't remember his name now, the guy that wrote and drew that series.
Yeah.
But it's fantastic. It's one of the best little arcs of that entire show. It's really good. So sorry for the slant towards the rabbit. But
well, it was just one of those things when I've seen that in a lot of, I think, different animes that I've watched, it didn't stimulate me creatively in a way, positively.
Well,
but,
everybody wasn't a rabbit. You got these tall, Wookiee-looking motherfuckers and Ewoks and stuff in this universe.
There.
So,
yeah,
if it's a rabbit, okay, well, that's fine because there's a lot of other funny-looking things in this universe that get dismissed as Star Wars. So,
in terms of what this creator did with the Star Wars property, I think he did a pretty good job. It felt like just a great melding of two genres, which I like. It feels like it takes place in the Star Wars universe. You have some great Star Wars themes, but you also have some traditional themes that I've seen in other mythologies and fiction, and particularly Japanese culture, of how it's been represented towards me, of honor, you know what I mean, and fighting for your family, and just obviously the part where they took out the lightsaber and this has been passed down, and the fact that the daughter that he adopted ended up being kind of the daughter that was really cool.
So we know this takes place during the Imperial rule, and that the Jedi had been wiped out 20 years prior. So but maybe this planet though, Tau, has been isolated from the Jedi for much longer because that wouldn't have really been passed down in the family very long. If it only happened prior to...
Yeah, he said just a Jedi landed here and then
died.
Yeah.
And so that makes you think that's had to have happened a long time prior to the Order 66.
They were pretty independent of the Republic, so they might not have aligned themselves.
And he mentions that.
Yeah, so they might have just been a neutral planet.
Yeah.
And he didn't want that. He liked the old ways, and I can respect that. I can see the daughter's point until she...
became violent and went with the Empire.
And she was kind of gripped by what seemed to be the dark side. I don't want to put labels on it because of whatever. But obviously in this short 20-minute story, I can clearly see the path the daughter went. It was kind of represented as the dark side path.
Well, she definitely was a lot more personal than just trying to do what was right for Tau.
Yeah.
Because, how she reacted with the family sword and how she said that Lop wasn't even part of the family.
Yeah.
So you can tell that in the end, that perspective, she was the one that brought Lop in, insisted on her being brought in, and then the father's the one that kind of saw through that. I'm sorry if I ever looked down on you.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. And then the sister's the one that turns around and kind of casts her out. It says, you're not even part of this family. You shouldn't have the sword, etc.
Yeah, which was sad. We only had that one scene of them when they were younger and their daughter, and that was just a sad thing.
They did a good job representing family in this episode.
Yeah, and then someone who is a part of the family and, and isn't even the same species. Yeah, so because you can put all kinds of connotations with that. Someone who doesn't have the same skin color, same religion.
Yeah.
And, you still love them. And
it's like fucking Hawkeye in The Last of the Mohicans. Daniel Day-Lewis.
I need to see it.
He gets adopted by a Mohican.
Yeah.
And his son... And he becomes as one of them, and he's treated exactly the same as a kind of, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's some more good old Daniel Day.
That sounds pretty cool. And I'm also kind of a fan of the Last Samurai, and it's obviously quite a bit different than this. But the idea of being from an outside culture and coming into a different culture at your own. What's her name?
Lop.
Her parents are. She just said they were gone, right? they might as well be dead. You know what I mean? Because that's to her, that's what it's like. You know, there's been a couple of these. It's one of those things for me. I'd really like to see more. You know what I mean?
So not. Fucking sucks for Yasaburo, who lost his other eye.
No, yeah.
Fucking shit.
Because no matter what, he can't get his eye back.
No, it's done.
Yeah.
And do you think in this world where they have, you know, pretty damn good prosthetics, that someone could get a new eye? Mm-hmm. But I guess they haven't figured that one out yet.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure that's in the Star Wars universe, but they haven't had the benefit of aligning themselves with.
So now he's like, well, join the Empire, give me an eye.
Yeah, I know. But a great theme in Star Wars. They're hitting it more in the new era, which is, you know, Vader felt like he could never turn back. Mm-hmm. He told his son that on Endor, on the Century Moon.
Yeah, I know.
And it was just, you know, and we have that with a villain in Episode 7, Kylo Ren. You know, that it was too late for him. And that's the big thing about it's never too late to change.
Yeah,
I mean,
just like future Loki said. And
it's never too late to change. Yeah, well, I thought it was...
Well, it was Mobius that said it.
Yeah.
But he said, never too late to change. But he's the one that accepts it.
Yeah. In the Star Wars universe, and I think it's kind of mirrors life a little bit. If once you walk the dark path, forever will dominate your destiny, or once you walk the dark path, it's going to be, as you would say, a road to hoe to turn back.
Well, yeah, it's
you know,
a long road to hoe.
Yeah.
And it's just, it overshadows everything you do after that, especially for some time.
Yeah, so, you know, and I know in this 19-minute thing, she's represented as really far gone.
Yeah.
But yeah, I felt the hope at the end of the episode, like you said.
Yeah, the little picture, and it's off.
So, you know, I like to think that Lob eventually redeemed her sister.
It'd be nice. It'd be a nice thought.
It was very sad. Yeah, I was like, oh man, shit, you were just this little girl 5 minutes ago.
I know. And
very sad. Maybe think of like Evangeline Leona, you know?
Her argument about Tao being able to modernize through the Empire really reminded me of Japan's actual military history.
Yeah.
And how they tried to... They figured out pretty quick that they needed to modernize to catch up with the rest of the world because they were isolated for so long. They're a very insular country. Mm-hmm. And then when they realized that the firearms and military technology and the rest of the world was outpacing them, they decided, well, we gotta wake our asses up. We gotta get caught up. That's part of you talked about the Last Samurai. Yeah, that includes a lot of that. And so World War I, World War II, the Japanese, that's what they were all about.
And that's why when you look at through that lens, I agreed kind of first, like, okay, you need to find at least a middle ground here. Yeah, and then it showed the Empire being assholes. Like, one thing that's really great about, especially the books, and if you watch Episode 8, there's undertones of this. Like, the Empire benefited some people. Like, it took some planets and it uplifted them from poverty and made them matter, and took people and gave them jobs, and, you know. So, like, some people wholeheartly believe the Empire's a good thing. Like, some people...
Yeah, we've talked about this before, because Tarkin has that mindset. Yeah, he thinks he's doing God's work.
He does. He believes, like, we're civilization. Yeah. And we're going to help you and join, or we're going to kill you.
Yeah, that's kind of the problem with the ultimatum.
That was the problem, is the Tarkin doctrine of fear. Yeah. And this is also the Last Samurai, cutting off her hair to cut the ties with her old life, and by choice, not forcefully like in the Last Samurai. Yeah. Now, we had a friend who, he...
did that number after
he had a bad...
I fucked him over. And
he had a bad breakup. And, you know,
that involved me.
This was a great guy, and he cut his hair off in shame, but he put on his wall, and it always stuck with me. Was the anguish.
Well, there you go, because you think of it as a ridiculous thing, but now it's lasted. It's stood the test of time in your memory bank. Well, it's there now.
Yeah, and I remember.
Maybe he looks back and thinks, God, I was a retard, but I don't know if he thinks that. But
he might, but it also, I didn't understand as much that back then about it was just this external representation of this internal pain and suffering. And that was how he expressed it, because he connected with that culture. Yeah. So it was funny, but it's cool. Yeah. Yeah. That's it. Guys, thank you so much for watching our reaction to this show. If you like us, you want to support us, you can just like and subscribe to this channel. Like this video. Leave a comment down below. It really helps. What did you think of the episode? And what was your favorite part? And yeah. And if you don't, you won't.